Hello you guys and welcome back to my channel. If you are new, welcome here. My name is Kylene. I have two kids. They are both under the age of 2. My son Rocky is 20 months and my daughter Ekko is a month old. And today I'm just going to be sharing a Q&A with you guys. I asked you guys to ask me questions on Instagram. If you guys want me to answer a question in a future video, make sure you're following me there. But I am going to be talking about pretty much just motherhood, my transition to 2 under 2, things that have occurred within the kids and just kind of how I'm adjusting, and yeah, just a bunch of random mother related content. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoy. I'm just gonna jump right into the questions. The first question someone asked is, when and how do I plan on potty training Rocky? So like I said, Rocky is 20 months old. He will be 2 on August 31st. And I've always kind of considered just doing it around the age of 2. I know people do it anywhere from like before 2 to 3, 3.5. I know there's like a huge range. But for us personally, I think we are going to do it when he is 2 or around him being 2. Now, there's a few reasons why. The first thing is I do feel like he's already showing signs to want to be potty trained. Anytime that he has to go poop, he tells us, and then he wants to be isolated and go by himself. Also, the other day, Nathaniel was driving home with him and he started crying because he had to go poop and he would not poop in the car seat. He cried his entire way until he got home, and as soon as he got home, he ran into the closet and he went poop. And so that's kind of like a sign he's definitely uncomfortable with having poop in his diaper. The other thing is I didn't want to do anything drastic 3 months before or 3 months after having Ekko. I had Ekko exactly when he was 19 months, so that's a little bit past the 3 months, which I think is super good. That's advice based off of taking care of babies. She just says not do anything too crazy during like a dramatic life event. So that's one reason. And then honestly, I just want to get him out of diapers. I don't want to be paying for 2 diapers that much longer. So that's a driving force. Yeah, that's kind of just like the thought process with it. How we plan on doing it, I'm not entirely sure yet. Until then, we are starting to talk to him about it. If you guys watched a recent vlog of mine, I got books from Love Every and they talk about pooping and peeing on the potty. And so we've been showing him those and he loves reading the poop book. Like, he is so fascinated by it. And so we're gonna end up getting a seat that we can put onto our toilet seat, so that way we don't have to worry about him learning how to go in a tiny potty and then in the regular potty. And that way we don't have to clean that tiny potty and dump the poop into the toilet, and he's not afraid of the toilet. We'll probably do like the no pants method. That's what my sister-in-law did, and I feel like it worked well for her. I don't really know. I need to look into it. We also want to start putting him in the bathroom when he wants to go poop, like in an isolated spot. And so we're gonna start doing that. We haven't done it yet, but that's a plan. My friend also suggested changing their diaper in the restroom, so you start to associate like pee and poop with the restroom. So those are some things that we're gonna start to try to do, but I will definitely keep you guys in the loop when we go through the process of potty training him, the method we choose to take, and the process of how it goes. I had quite a few people ask what we would have named Ekko if we didn't name her Ekko, which we honestly did not have another name that both of us liked. Nathaniel had his names, I had my names. We both did not agree on any of them. Ekko was the only name we agreed on, literally since before we were even pregnant with Rocky. So that name has always just been a name we've really thought about naming our daughter. But I will share the few names that we both liked. So Nathaniel really likes the name Arrow, which is funny because he doesn't know who Cara Loren or Cara Loren is, but she has an Ekko and an Arrow. And I was like, dude, you just like her names. He also really likes my middle name, Rael, but I just couldn't name my daughter Rael. Like, I could use it as a middle name like we did, but I just couldn't name her my middle name as her first name. I don't know. Him and my dad really were pushing for that, but I just couldn't get on board. For me, I really liked the names Sunny and Soul. Both names are on the sun, but like I have said in previous videos, I had a feeling she was gonna have dark features, and I just pictured that baby to be a blonde hair baby. So yeah, and Nathaniel didn't really love the names. But yeah, those were some of the names that we liked. I have filmed 2 videos of baby names I love but I won't be using. So if you guys want baby name suggestions, I will leave those videos linked down below. Oh, okay, this next question kind of hit me because I dealt with it today. Both sides actually, but the question was, what are the worst and best parts of sharing your life online? Best part is connecting with so many of you guys, which I know that's pretty cliche, but literally today I was at Target with Rocky and Ekko, and a girl came up to me and was like, hey, I follow you on YouTube, I watch all your videos, like, and it was just super cool. Like, how freaking cool is that I'm just out and about and I meet someone who like watches my content. But also, like, I just connect with so many of you guys on Instagram through DMs, and just like hearing the stories and all those kinds of things, and just like not feeling completely alone in this stage of life has been so nice for me. Like, I have a lot of you guys tell me that, but in return it makes me not feel alone too. So that has been the like all-time coolest thing about sharing my life. Now, that also comes with the negatives and the people who are rude and the people who give me unsolicited advice. That honestly I have a really hard time with, and not just like letting it go. Like today someone literally commented in this question box, "You are not the same kind," what did she say? I can't even remember. "I'm not the same nice person I used to be, or sweet person I used to be, and that I seem fake." And like, I want to defend myself so bad, but I just don't think I should give that person the time of day, and here I am giving them the time of day. But yeah, it's just hard getting comments like that, and I'm constantly like questioning myself and making sure I am true to myself and I am a good mom and all these things. And to have someone constantly just like judge your life is really hard, especially since you guys don't really know me. You only see parts of my day, but I really do try to be vulnerable, and I do share the hard parts. And so when people are rude, it's really hard. It gets to me for sure. So yeah, that's definitely the worst part of it. But yeah, I'm trying not to give it time of day, even though I just did. So I had quite a few people ask if I was worried about binkies, if I plan on getting rid of the binkies soon, if I'm worried about the effects of it with Rocky, just binky questions. And like I said, for the potty training, I did not want to do anything drastic 3 months before or 3 months after having Ekko. So we decided to not get rid of the binky before then. And I didn't want Ekko coming in and having a binky make Rocky regress with having a binky. So I just decided to do it later. Now, again, we plan to do this around 2 years old. I feel like we're just going to rip off a few band-aids at 2. We're going to potty train. We're going to get rid of the binky. We might transition him out of the crib. I don't know what we're gonna do with that, but I'm not worried about the binky, honestly. All of these teeth are baby teeth. Rocky does have a tooth that grew in crooked. People have asked if that's because of the binky, and it's not. My sister's a dentist and she has looked at his mouth. His tooth literally is growing in this way instead of like forward facing. But yeah, I'm not too concerned about it. We have recently started to not give it to him as much. As soon as we had Ekko, I feel like he really regressed with the binky and he wanted it like all the time because Ekko had it. And this past week we actually stopped giving it to him outside of the crib. Really, we're not even trying to give it to him in the car or at stores. We don't even bring it anymore. Now, of course, there are some days where it does come up, but for the most part, he does not get the binky outside of the crib. And it was a really hard first couple days. He would cry at his crib and just say, "Ba, ba," that's what he calls it. But he's been doing a lot better recently. So yeah, I'm not worried about it, but I am worried for the day we have to kind of train him to not have it during the night, because he has 3 or 4 binkies in there and he really does use those to self-soothe. So I feel like we're gonna have to like retrain him when it comes to sleep training when that comes. So yes, I am stressed about that, but I'm not really worried about the effects of him having a binky, if that makes sense. Ooh, next one is a big one, which I feel like I could make an entire video on, but someone asked, how do I deal with tantrums? Does Rocky have a tantrum? How do I deal with him hitting? Is he always gentle with Ekko? Like, just all those kinds of questions. And I really do think I should make a full video on this, because of course Rocky has tantrums, and of course he has wanted to hit his sister out of jealousy, out of whatever. But for the most part, Rocky is extremely kind and gentle to her, and I'm very thankful for that. From an early age, Rocky started trying to hit us. I think he was about a year old. And as soon as he started doing that, we had him show us gentle after he would try and hit us. So if he would hit us, we would show him with our hand. We'd be like, "Be gentle." And then we would take his hand and then show us gentle, and then we would have him do it himself. And so now when we tell him to be gentle, he knows to like softly touch something. Again, the first like month or so when Nathaniel was not back at work, Rocky really acted out quite a bit. We had more TV time. We let him have the binky more. There was just so many different things that really, I feel like, affected his behavior. And so yes, he has definitely thrown tons of tantrums, and he has definitely hit his sister and kind of acted out. But my biggest thing I have been trying to do recently is, one, control TV time and control the binky usage. I swear to you guys, that has made a huge difference. Like, literally, we have not put on the TV at all this week, and he has been so good. We put it on last week when I got sick towards the end of the day because we were just all tapped out, and within 5 minutes he threw a tantrum. It was insane. So we have not put on the TV for him. We have been limiting the binky usage, but also the way that we react to him throwing a tantrum or hitting a sister has a huge effect on the continuation of his tantrum. And so when he does try to hit Ekko, I just try my best to not react, not freak out. And I'm just like, "Oh, be gentle, like we have to be nice to sis, and then he will get over it pretty quickly. Another thing I do is I just try and keep Ekko out of reach in times where I don't feel like I can completely give him my full attention, because I notice that's when tantrums and hitting kind of happens a little bit more. But yes, if you guys want a full video on this, let me know and I can do my best to share. I don't want to make this video too long by going on and on about this, but I do feel like I could talk a lot more about tantrums and how to handle them. Okay, next question was, what does Ekko's schedule look like? And schedule is very loosely because yes, she is a month old. Someone also asked like how to get your baby on a schedule. So the biggest thing is your baby should kind of already be in a routine, because you have to feed them every 2 to 3 hours or so. And so around a month is when I've started this with both Rocky and Ekko, but I just try my best to, one, feed every 3 hours. Sometimes it's 2.5, 2 hours, but I will never go past 3 hours. And then after I feed her, I will keep her up for her appropriate wake window. And then once that's over, I will get her to sleep until the next feeding. Newborns, the wake window is an hour, and that's from the beginning of her feed. So say I start to feed her at 7 a.m. By 8 a.m. I am going to swaddle her up and get her down for a nap. Now, she doesn't nap the entire time, every single time. And I was a lot stricter with Rocky because I was so consumed in like, she has to, or he has to sleep and he has to be awake. And like, if she wakes up, it's not a big deal to me anymore. I can only do so much with 2 kids, but I do try and keep her asleep as best as I can by swaddling her and giving her a binky and whatnot. But even if they had just fallen asleep, like right now before I filmed this video, Ekko was up and had just fallen asleep like 10 minutes before I was supposed to feed her. I still woke her up and fed her. Now, she didn't stay up for the full hour and that's fine, but I make sure if anything goes on throughout the day, she's fed every 3 hours, because now you guys, she literally is 6 weeks old and I feed her at 7:30 and I'm not feeding her again until like 3:34. I'm literally waking up once throughout the night with her, and that's counting like from 7 to 7 being like through the night. So yeah, I really think that this like routine or loose schedule helps so much with babies. Yeah, that's just what works for us. If you guys don't agree, that's totally fine, but it has really helped my sanity with 2 under 2, because she knows when she's going to be fed and I'm getting good stretches at night. And yeah, I feel like I started rambling, but that's how we have been keeping her on a schedule. The next question was breastfeeding tips, tricks, hacks, like everything about breastfeeding. And again, this is a video I feel like I should do entirely on its own. I should do like a how to breastfeed kind of thing with little to no pain. If you guys want to see that, please comment below. Seriously, please stop and comment right now in the description box if you want a tantrum video and you want a breastfeeding video, because if I don't see it, it makes me not think people want to see it. So let me know if you want me to film that. But biggest things, relax, let your baby come to you. Don't kind of like tense up and come to them. Turn their body into you. I always have the image in my mind, if they're laying flat up and turning like this to feed, it's really hard. We don't eat like that. We eat straight on. Turn their body completely into your body. Use a haka. I should have brought it, but look up a video to see how to use it. You have to squeeze it, fold the flap over, put it on, and then fold the flap back. You don't just squeeze the tube and put it on. That's not how you properly put it on. That will help kind of heal your nipple, because as it fills up, it'll submerge it. Let me think what else. Yeah, I just feel like that needs to be an entire video where I go like super in depth, but it will get easier. I feel like that's the other thing too. The first 2 weeks, just plan on it being hard and plan on it hurting, but eventually you will latch and it won't be painful at all. Next question has to do with like the cleanliness of our house, which you guys, the majority of my house is clean pretty much all the time, but if I were to flip this camera right now, there are clothes on the dresser. Like, it's not perfect, but Nathaniel and I both really thrive in a clean environment. It really affects us if it's not, and so we are huge about cleaning up as we go. Someone asked, how do you stay on top of household chores? And then someone asked, like, how do you divide them between you and your husband? So we stay on top of them because we clean up as we go. So if we leave the playroom, we will have Rocky help us clean up the playroom before we go somewhere else. If we make dinner, we will clean up dinner before we go on a walk or go do the next thing. We just make sure we don't touch things twice. It really works for us, and yeah, it keeps our house clean. The other question was, how do we divide it? I feel like the biggest thing is not having tasks that are only your tasks and his tasks. Like, everything is fair game for anyone to do. And I mean that by, like, I could take out the trash, Nathaniel could do the dishes and the laundry. Like, we don't have roles that are just one or the other. And I think that really helps a ton because everyone's kind of just helping out. We kind of just try and look at things as we are a team. This is both of our house and we both need to be doing things to keep up with the households. Next question I really liked, and again, I feel like I'm very new to this. I have a 6-week-old daughter, so I can't answer fully, but the question was, which transition has been easier, 0 to 1 or 1 to 2? And hands down for me, 1 to 2 has been easier than 0 to 1. 0 to 1 is a life change. You go from not being a mother to being a mother, and you have to make so many sacrifices that now I just feel like things are getting harder, but I'm already in mom mode and I've already been making those sacrifices, so I'm already just kind of used to it. Of course, it's harder having 2 babies and not 1. You have to kind of split up your attention, and you and your husband both kind of have someone that you need to care for. But like I said, I feel like the transition into motherhood was so hard for me that now it's just not even comparable at all. Someone also asked which is harder, the newborn or the toddler, and for me, the toddler is harder. Ekko is super easy, and I think I'm lucky because she is a good baby. Rocky was a really hard baby, so I say that with a grain of salt because I know babies can be hard, but she is pretty content if she is fed and well rested, whereas Rocky is just a lot more demanding. He needs to be played with, he needs to be fed, he needs to have conversation. Like, there's just so many more things to do, and he's just so much more active that for me, the toddler is harder than the newborn right now. Next question is kind of fun. It was plans for Rocky's toddler room. If you guys have seen some of my content, you know that I've been thinking about switching it over, not necessarily switching him in out of the crib, but just like changing his room. I want to go with like black, white, wood, and like rust. I just feel like I want to like really elevate his room to be a big boy room. I plan on painting his dresser black. I'm not sure if I want to paint the whole thing or just paint like the dresser and leave the drawers wood. I want to redo the back wall that is that big design. I want to paint it white and just start over and then maybe add some wood. I have been thinking about painting it black, but I don't know if that's like too much. And then I found this rug that I thought was super cute. We have that little gather mat poof. I would love to do a floor bed, but I think I would have to have someone make that because I feel like it would be super expensive. It's really big right now as a Montessori bed, and so the price is kind of up. So if I can get like my dad or my brother-in-law to help build that, that would be super cool. I'm really excited to do this. I feel like we might start tackling it soon, just kind of one by one. But yeah, you guys know I love decorating. I love making over rooms, and I'm really excited to transition his room into a toddler room. Okay, next question is a deep question, and it was, how do you not get lost in or feel overwhelmed with motherhood? And I do 100%. I literally did an hour ago. I was talking to Nathaniel about how I felt like I just can't get everything done. I have 2 tips. One, to not get lost in motherhood, you need to still do things for yourself, even though it may feel selfish. Think of it as you are filling your cup up, and if you can't fill up your cup and be happy, you're not going to serve your family in a way that is beneficial because you're not happy yourself. So just doing little things for yourself is huge. And then the other thing is to not get overwhelmed with it. I think you just need to know that you cannot do everything. There's gonna be times where you are thriving with being a parent and doing all the extra things, the sensory activities, the home cooked meals, all that kind of stuff, but then you're lacking in your personal life, or you're doing really well keeping up with your own diet and your own exercise, but you're lacking with your husband, or you're doing really well with your career and you're lacking with being a mom. Like, there's always going to be an area where you're not pouring into quite a bit, and I think you just have to realize that that's okay, and that's gonna come, and that there's seasons for each one of those things. And also just know that those feelings are completely normal and valid, and it's just a part of it, honestly. But to try your best to just like pour into yourself too, it is a huge thing, because at the end of the day, if you're not feeling happy or good, you're not going to feel motivated to pour into your career, into your parenting, into your relationship, or into yourself. So yeah, that's my advice on that. Again, I could talk all day on that, but if you need someone to chat with, you can always DM me. I am always in my DMs. Next question was tips for losing weight, and your girl needs them too, because I am still 10-11 pounds over my starting weight with Ekko, but like 15-16 pounds over my starting weight with Rocky. And so I've got a lot of work to do. A lot of my clothes do not fit me, and it's been really hard because at this point with Rocky they fit me, but now at this point with Ekko they do not fit me. I literally have one pair of jeans I can squeeze into, and yeah, a lot of clothes don't fit, so it's really hard. But my plan is to start with my nutrition. That's the biggest impact. If you guys don't know much about health and dieting and all that kind of stuff. I do have a background in nutrition. That was my major at ASU, but nutrition is the biggest thing that will control it. Exercise is like an added on thing that's great too, but you really got to get your diet under control in order to just kind of start losing weight, and I have not done that. I have been eating all the foods. If you guys want me to share my journey on that, let me know. I know there's so many things that I'm saying if you want me to share more. I know it's kind of annoying, but yeah, I plan on tackling that because we are going to the beach in a month and I want to feel good there, and I just want to feel good day to day too, and just my own body. So yeah, I need to get on that, and I plan to get on it. Next question was, do I plan to sleep train Ekko like I did Rocky? And yes, I do. Taking care of babies was probably one of the best things I did for my son, for myself, for my relationship, for just everything. Rocky sleeps 13 hours at night and has since he was 5 months old, and we will do the same with Ekko. We'll probably start at the same time when she's 5 months old. The next question I feel like I've answered many times, but I got it again, so I'm just gonna answer it again, and it was, how many more kids do I want? Are we done having kids? What's your planned age gap? That kind of thing. We are not done having kids. I would love 4. Nathaniel, I think, would be good with 2 or 3. We want a 3-year gap. Sorry if that cut me off. It said I didn't have any more storage, but we want a 3-year gap between Ekko and our next baby. The last question I got was about presets, which I left this at the end because I, again, need your input. I get so many questions, and I know that's a typical influencer answer, but so many people ask if I have a preset on my photos or if I sell my presets or whatever, and I have been meaning to do this for literally 2 years. But if you guys want me to do that, please encourage me, because it's something that I've said I wanted to do, but I've never done. But yeah, if you guys want me to release a preset, let me know. But yeah, that is it for today's Q&A. If you guys have any other questions you want me to answer, just comment them down below. I can share it in another video, or I can share them to Instagram. But I hope that you guys enjoyed. It was fun chatting with you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.